Welcome to the Comics Experiment right here at the Comicstorian Podcast Network that airs every Thursday at about 3 p.m. Eastern. Dan attempted to do a theme song.
I didn't know where to go with it, and then I just
This is the show. This is the show where I hang out with Andy, Dan, and myself, and we talk about philosophy. We talk about weird lists. We talk about reasons for things that are happening in the comics. We come up with bizarre theories. Every week it's an experiment if we're even going to stay on topic. And so far we have failed that experiment.
most of the time. Yes.
There was one episode Andy tried to keep us on track, and we got to the end of the episode, and Andy's like, "What was that?"
I tried really hard, and I just gave up.
About like 10 minutes in.
Yep, pretty much.
If you want to support this show and keep it going, please consider subscribing here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Comicstorian, where every Tuesday and Thursday we air various shows. You can also find us over on Patreon, patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you get unedited access and early access to each and every one of these episodes. On top of that, you can also visit our sponsors, which are
Honey, where you can go to joinhoney.com/experiment to get honey for free. I'll tell you more about that in the middle of today's episode, as well as G Fuel. Use code COMICS at checkout, save 10% off your order.
I can't believe he got the whole ad readout. I was really trying hard to distract him.
Luckily, I've practiced with him on our review show, which you can check out on our Patreon.
No, I like to
Comicstorian.
nod and shake my head while he's talking.
Just completely
He'll be like,
against
you can
what
go
I'm
to
saying.
Patreon, and I'll be like, and it just throws him off.
But I've started
But he's
to...
gotten better at
I've
it,
gotten
yeah.
better, yeah.
So if you can't, if my Hulu attempts are not, that was
Your Hulu.
That was me trying to.
He's
Hulu
trying to
dance.
watch
It's
Hulu.
like, I'm trying to pitch my show at Tim. Check out my Hulu.
It's like Robot Chicken, but funny.
Check out MODOK.
It used to be funny.
Used to.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Robot
I don't
Chicken
watch
has
it now.
just gone on for way too long. Is the
Well, you
issue.
could say that about Family Guy and The
Oh, yeah.
Simpsons as well.
You could tell Family Guy ended being interesting when they killed Brian.
Sure.
I like the theory.
Yes, because then they were like, oh, they don't want the new... Bring back the dog.
No, see, the
We didn't
theory.
even. We haven't even been on topic for 2 minutes.
I know. Today's topic is going to be something involving Superman. We'll get to it in a second. There's a theory, and I want to get your opinion on this. That Family Guy.
Why?
Who's the guy that created Family Guy?
Todd McFarlane.
Todd
Or-
McFarlane.
No, Seth MacFarlane. I was like, wait a minute, what?
Todd McFarlane made Spawn. Sorry.
Spawn, then Family Guy.
Yeah.
Total transition
Yeah,
right
yeah.
there.
Totally in his
He
wheelhouse.
killed
Yeah, that sounds
Brian
right.
as a way to tell the audience he was done with Family Guy.
Yeah, I know.
I
I'm
like
aware.
that theory. That he was done.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's the theory. Yeah.
That's a theory
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
did it as a way to signal
I'm out.
I'm out of ideas.
Which doesn't work because he voices like 4 other people on
Yeah.
that show. He'd have to like
luckily,
murder the whole family.
To be fair, the other voices that he does make, you can find people that can imitate those
That is
like
true,
spot on.
Yeah.
So, today's topic is why is Superman always angry? AKA, why is he always made evil? Why is it not Batman? Why is it not Green Lantern? Why they have been before, and we'll talk about all of that today and some of the favorite evil Supermen. But let's kick off the topic. Andy, why is it whenever they want to make a superhero evil, they always seem to do Superman? Omni-Man, Homelander, the Nazi one, Soviet one.
I said that was just Superman.
One,
Well, no, that was
Russian
Ultraman.
Injustice, Superman,
is the Russian one. Yeah.
Overman, Ultraman,
There's a lot of mans out there.
Hyperion.
He's not always evil.
No.
No, right now he's not.
Well, we don't know that
Yes.
fully yet. At times, he doesn't seem evil.
So, as a individual who enjoys occasionally partaking of tea and writing, I don't know why those correlate from my head. I don't know.
I also don't drink tea at all,
I just
Yeah.
picture you with your
It's
pinky
like-
out and you're just drinking tea. And you're like,
Literally never
I have an
drink
idea
tea.
for our mystery homes.
I literally never. I don't even know anyone. Actually, I do know someone named Holmes. Sergeant Holmes. He was one of my NCOs. I literally never drink tea, though. I don't know what that had anything
Yeah,
to
that
do
was
with
an
anything.
interesting
Yeah.
one.
I think
to
he
put
got
for
us
him.
confused.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Why do you think they always choose Superman to be the one that turns evil whenever they decide to make an evil version of this Justice League?
Well, I mean, there's multiple reasons. For one, in the DC universe, Superman is the symbol of hope for like all of the DC universe. All of the heroes look to him for hope. Well, most of them. You know, there are the occasional ones like, man, why can't we just shoot bad guys in the head? I don't understand.
Okay. Love it.
But
Very
most
good
of
guy.
them look to Superman as like, you know, he's the standard bearer for the DC universe. So if you're going to make the DC universe, if you're going to do a darker version of a superhero universe, you take the most virtuous one, and you just flip him around so he's the most evil one. The other reason being he's the most powerful. So let's say hypothetically Batman. No, Batman probably would kill Superman. Let's say hypothetically somebody else went full on evil. Odds are good Superman can stop them, and has, and many.
And Parallax is a great example.
Yeah, exactly.
He defeated evil Green Lantern.
Right. I was going to say in many alternate universes or whatever, Superman is the one that comes out and saves everybody. So if you take the strongest person and the most virtuous person and make them evil, you really can't go any bigger in terms of like a threat level.
So you're saying that the reason why we don't see more evil Batman stories is because turning Superman, I feel like it's almost too easy. To get the most powerful one is.
Well, because there's the old, the old saying like absolute power corrupts absolutely. And for Superman in the main DC universe, it never has. He's the most strongest person on the planet. Can literally stop tidal waves with a clap of his hand. And he's always been good in the comics.
Right.
Even the occasions where he kind of dips into maybe less than perfect, he's still not like, oh, guys, let's just start laser beaming people's brains out and it'll be easy. So he's never been corrupted.
I want to see just that line.
Right? Yeah. Superman's like, guys, what if I just lasered them really quick?
I was watching this show, The Boys.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he said at Homelander at one point? Like, don't make me laser.
They're on the
Yeah,
plane
something like
and people
that.
are trying to get him, and he's like, "You better back up, right? We'll laser every one of you," which is what I would say.
Oh yeah,
Andy would be
you saying
Homelander
that.
in a
If
heartbeat.
you move, I will laser you. I don't know what else to say. So yeah, it's that in the main DC universe, he's basically uncorruptible. So it's that kind of, you play with that sort of thing. That would be the main reason I would say he's always the most evil one, or they always take a Superman type character and make them evil.
Okay. Dan, what do you think? What's the reasoning behind it?
I think it's very much along the lines of, if you don't take the most powerful character and turn them evil, they could be stopped pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the big ones, but I think it's also the weird enjoyment people get when they see that over-the-top violence. People enjoy when Omni-Man holds Mark in front of a train and kills everyone on the train because they all smash into him.
Everyone liked the shock value of Homelander when he nuked like the whole audience in front of him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Even though it was in his head. Like,
But I remember sitting there when that happened, and I was just like, "Oh, we're going there!
it's happening! It's happening!
Oh crap! It was all in his mind."
This guy is twisted as
no, I think people like that over-the-top violence. And if you do it with superheroes, you have to go big. The reason why you can't do Batman as a villain, because Batman as a villain, what you would get from that is basically what you would want from, honestly, no, it's John Wick. Just a guy that goes around and is capable of killing anyone that comes along in his path. But if it's Batman and it's in a world with superheroes and it's just it's the boys. It's Butcher going after all of the superheroes, just trying to kill them. But there's always that.
I would read that book.
Right.
Batman kills the DC universe.
I don't know why they've never done that.
As weird as this is going to sound, there's an unrealistic take to it of a human can defeat essentially gods. Like, there's a part to that where people go, well, that's not realistic. Bear with me. That's not realistic in this universe for this human to be able to take out every single one of them that's faster than a speeding bullet, but he happens to have this ring that's inside a lead case, so it's not always hurting him, but he takes it out just in
kryptonite
time.
gum.
Exactly. Yeah, that was that.
It was under a tooth. It was under a tooth.
Anyway.
Obviously. Quick
But
question: why didn't he get poisoned by radiation? Because that's what happened to Lex Luthor in the comics.
we'll skip
Because
past
he
that.
handled too much kryptonite and had radiation poisoning.
Anyway,
And that's like right next to his brain.
That's
too.
what I'm saying.
Anyway, my point being, if you have a human or a lesser powered being doing that, you just look at it and go, oh, well, plot armor, nothing bad's gonna happen. But when it's a super powerful, you go, okay, so I'm seeing how deadly this guy can be. Who's gonna stop him? Because that fight's gonna be epic. I'm gonna love, it's the same reason why when you have a Superman movie, you get Doomsday as almost like your very first villain, because it's someone that is so powerful it can face off against the most powerful person you've already got.
I mean, it's the Goku versus whatever the latest thing that he angered
Exactly.
battle is. So then why don't we get more stories where Batman just tricks Superman into walking in and killing him? I mean, I know we just had literally like 20 evil Batmen in Death Metal and DC Metal, but until then, we really didn't have very many evil Batmans. An evil Batman was called Red Hood.
We had fascist Batman
Owlman.
a lot
No.
of the time.
Nighthawk.
No,
Owlman.
Owlman.
It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Owlman.
Nighthawk is the Marvel.
That's right.
Right. We've had fascist Batman, where Batman just turns the entire world into a police state.
But why
Gotham
don't
into
we
a
get
police
more
state.
stories like that? Like we have Homelander, Omni-Man. We have
There aren't that many evil versions of
right.
Batman.
You can literally list off the evil versions and the storylines in which Superman went evil, like Red Sun and Crime Syndicate, the evil version of Superman, and Justice. That's the whole.
I would also say,
crux.
from a plot standpoint, it's easier to have a super powered being. You're like, hey, he's an alien from space, and now he's evil. Then trying to and then trying to set up like a Batman-esque storyline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that it's the lazy route to just be like,
At this point, I would say it is. Yeah, I would say it is lazier to go, I have a Superman character, but he's kind of a sociopath. Because Batman,
as you would be if you
Batman
were Superman.
in and of himself is kind of a sociopath.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, all
He
superheroes are.
just kind of steps back a little bit.
Yeah.
So, what about other more obscure superheroes? Why did the Monarch never work? When it was, I think, Hawk as a superhero turned villain. Monarch and the Wave Rider storyline.
Oh, from Armageddon 2001.
Yeah, see,
Okay,
he knows
all
what I'm
right.
talking about.
Yeah,
Like,
I got
why
really
is that not
confused.
like a bigger villain? Why did Parallax have one major event and then was a nuisance following on?
Stop it, Parallax. Bah, evil Green Lantern.
Don't bring yellow near me. I'm in that part of my continuity.
Why have they never done Barry went evil? The closest we ever got was negative Barry.
It's true. Well, I mean, you already have an evil Barry running around all the time. Oh God, it's evil Barry again. No, I'm Professor Zoom. No, I'm Reverse Flash. I only run backwards. I don't know.
What I'm saying is, why don't we see more
God, I hate the Flash.
of the super-powered individuals who have a lot of power at their disposal?
Right.
Constantly. It's always a Superman-esque person.
Right.
Always someone with every power in that universe.
Because it's harder to fight against him.
Actually, yeah, it's
That's what I'm saying. You got to have the most powerful person because it's harder for your good guys to fight against him.
you have to have a you can't have a rock paper scissors style hero turn evil, because then the corresponding person in the triangle would be able to beat him. You have to have the gun do it.
The gun shows up.
Rock paper scissors gun beats
Okay,
all.
why don't we have an evil Wonder Woman? They've pretty much continually expanded upon her powers over the last 10 years.
Honestly, I would love an evil Wonder Woman.
I mean,
run.
she's evil inherently every time she shows up anyway.
It's true.
She
has
actually-
a lot of evil undertones.
I think actually the Wonder Woman there kind of relates to what you were saying of Superman being the beacon of hope.
Yeah.
It is such a drastic turn, whereas Wonder Woman is a warrior. Like,
It wouldn't be
it's-
that drastic a turn,
Exactly.
yeah.
For her, it would just be going, all right, I'm going to be a warrior. I'm going to kill who I need to kill because that's war.
So irritated with this. I'm just gonna start lopping people's heads off. It's just easier, guys.
Now, an evil Wonder Woman story that I would read that I think would do really well, especially as like a movie, would be if Wonder Woman, I'm sure this actually is a story, turns evil, kills all the gods of Olympus to gain their powers, and becomes like the god of Olympus.
Kratos.
Kind of. Well, yeah.
She
Basically.
becomes Kratos.
Basically.
There's a similar story. Someone else kills all the gods and gets all the power, and then she takes that. She has to kill one person to get her power.
It's just easier that way. What
Yeah.
you do is you nudge someone
consolidate
in that
it
direction.
into one spot.
Then you kill them.
It was the first son. It was like the whole New 52 arc.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
First son took pretty much every power.
Yeah.
And then she killed him, and she was the god of war. And they said nobody likes this, and they threw the whole plot out. And she literally dropped the helmet and went, "I forgot I had powers." And then that was how they got rid of it. It was
Yeah,
basically,
pretty much. Yeah.
But see, like, that's the problem
is that
with
the real god of war helmet?
that's the problem with Wonder Woman though, is she's already kind of on. She kills, and that's
Well,
the
yeah,
part. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
always the line that doesn't get crossed, is the killing. And if they're already willing to,
There's another line that we cannot cross, Dan.
Is it the one that enters this portal?
Today's podcast is sponsored by Honey. Honey is a free browser extension that is designed to save you money. Honey automatically scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best ones that it finds to your cart to save you money. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, ranging from tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands and even food delivery. Honey has helped 17 million members save more than $2 billion. Just click the Apply Coupons button on the extension at checkout and watch the savings roll in. I've been using Honey every time that I shop online. Honey helped me save on my recent Walmart order by getting me free shipping. If you don't already have Honey, you could straight up be missing out on free savings. It's literally free and it installs in a few seconds. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid in supporting this podcast. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/experiment. That's at joinhoney.com/experiment. Thanks, Honey, for supporting today's episode.
Turns from this portal.
That's the one.
Okay.
So Superman, corruptible, hope, beacon of the world. Why haven't we seen more evil Captain America stories?
Because when we did it, everyone got pissy about it.
That one, I feel like the evil Captain America, the problem that comes there is he's a human that's American. Superman's an alien.
Yeah,
there's
also
no loyalty there.
I would say with Superman, the alien aspect does kind of also
It just makes
push.
Lex Luthor right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But he doesn't do it in the main universe. There's never been a main universe story where Superman goes evil. Even when he came back as, well, I guess in Earth 2, they came back with Darkseid's version of Superman.
Yeah.
But I don't think they ever did that in the main universe.
Darkseid War, you could say
Yeah, I
God of
guess
Strength.
kind of, yeah.
Because he
leans
he's more of a
towards
dick.
evil. Yeah, well,
But he was still too much to be corruptible.
that is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Hydra Cap freaked everyone out.
Yeah,
But why
yeah.
have we had nothing before that?
There had probably been a story where Cap was evil.
Cap was like straight evil.
Yeah, just straight. Well, a U.S. agent was kind of an asshole for a little while.
But that's to make him evil, they were like, and it's not Steve.
Yeah.
He's
Actually, that's-
taking a nap.
That's what they keep doing. They go, Captain America's evil. People don't like it.
It's not Captain
It wasn't
America. It's
Cap.
not
It
really.
was duplicate.
It was
a
an
clone.
alternate cubics and
It's-
stuff.
He got demoted.
Yeah. Red Skull was in there at some point. I don't fucking know.
Some Tesseract. I don't know what's
it's a
going
thing.
on.
It's
There's
Loki.
some little
It's
girl
Loki.
that's taking his.
It's Mephisto. It's
Mephisto. Oh, Mephisto.
People get mad about that shit.
Yeah. There has to be
So
a
why
level
do-
of, like, you cannot relate to the character to allow it to go
I do think
above
the
and
alien
beyond.
aspect
Yeah.
helps.
You think that? Because my next question was, why were people furious about Hydra Cap, but they praise Injustice Superman?
Who praised Injustice Superman?
Well, it's like one of the biggest selling books. I'm going off of that.
I was saying, everyone was like, Injustice Superman totally got it right. I don't see why Batman's all pissy.
Well, I'm just saying because like Hydra Cap, there was like
should start
there was people
lobotomizing more people.
like with Hydra Cap, people were like burning the book,
right.
boycotting.
I think
it.
the thing with Hydra Cap was more because Captain America was literally created both in the comic book world and in our world to fight against Nazis. And the idea was that he had secretly, before everybody realized what the actual plot was, is that he had secretly been a Nazi for 70 years, apparently. Even while frozen. He was just in there thinking racist thoughts the whole time. I think
I can't wait to get out of here and do Nazi stuff.
I'm going to do so many Nazi things.
I hope we're still called Nazi. It's going to be real weird if I come out and I'm like, Nazi, Nazi, Nazi. And everyone's like, Hydra.
God, I hope Hitler wins. And he comes out,
I did not see that coming.
Without me, I had just assumed. I think that was more what it was. Not so much the plot itself, although the plot was kind of dumb. But I think it was more of the like, well, you're trying to tell us that Steve Rogers has been secretly a Nazi this whole time.
Well, and so the original plot was that, remember they were pitching like, no, it is Steve.
Right, yeah.
And obviously it changed because it became, actually, isn't it technically he's actually still the original Steve?
No, we're not going in there.
And the I know, because didn't the Tesseract make another brand new classic Steve is what it did?
Pretty much. It was like it made a
remember.
copy but altered the history. It was really stupid.
I
That's what it
decided.
was.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say because they were like, well, Nick Spencer didn't lie. That really was Steve.
Yeah,
but
it is
the
really
Tesseract
dumb.
made another Steve, and then the Tesseract made him the main Steve.
It was overly complicated and honestly quite dumb.
And now there's two Steves, and that one, as far as you can all be concerned, is the real one.
Yep. That other one's in prison, and Deadpool's gonna blow up his toilet and leave
Yeah.
some snakes in there.
Yeah,
And we're gonna call him Steve.
Stevel. Stevel Knievel.
Oh God, it's Steve Rogers.
I really wish he broke out once, and someone was like, "Oh no, it's Steve Rogers."
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord.
Is Steve back from the dead?
Anyway, but yeah, that's probably why I would say. I don't know though. I've never written any of these characters. So.
But yeah, no, I think when it comes down to it, there has to be a level of disconnection for you to feel like you can support the bad guy in a weird way, because it's the same, like you could say the same about Thanos. Like, he's evil. A lot of people are like, oh, Thanos was right because he's an alien. And I mean, yes, technically, if you reduce the population, you would fix some problems, but that's beside the point.
Why didn't you just double the resources?
You know what? We're not going to go into that because space.
That's
Let's be honest.
Wait, all right,
There's
yeah.
only so
Wait.
much space that exists.
Legitimately, I know you probably didn't come up with that argument. I've heard Thanos is right. I've yet to hear someone go double the. Why didn't he double the resources?
Because you can't. If you double the resources, then you no longer have. Because one of the arguments was that there was not enough like land for that amount of people, and if you double the
the
resources,
size of the planet.
No,
then
that
you
would
mess
fuck
with
with
the
gravity.
gravity.
Double the size of everything.
Literally. Everything.
Well, you know what?
Double the size.
Planets, universe, resources.
Cows. Double
He
the
likes.
beef.
Thanos was like, I could expand or consolidate. It's easier to conquer less than it is to conquer more.
But he didn't want to. Well, in the movie,
I mean,
he didn't
you
want
know,
to
I know.
conquer. He just went and hung out
But
on the farm.
my point being, he is an alien. There's a level of disconnect. Superman's an alien. There's disconnect.
Thanos was
Homelander
right.
was like a clone thing. Like there's disconnect there. Omni-Man, alien, cartoon, whatever. But Steve Rogers being evil, you go, okay, well, there's the connect of it's a human, an American, and the connect of not necessarily evil, just straight Nazi, a group that everyone already knows, and
It's the easiest group to hate.
it is. Yes, I mean it kind of is, but
That's why
there
World War
is
II
that
games work so well. You have no problem shooting them.
Andy and I just
I mean,
shot.
never
Andy and I just shot a pitch over it. I'm not going to spoil any of that because
Oh,
it's all
God.
NDA. But the pitch boiled down to such and such is fighting Nazis, and the response we got was, "I like the idea of such and such fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
Let's talk."
It's the easiest thing to pitch.
it's the classic of there's Nazis, there's zombies, or there's Nazi zombies. Like those are the go-to villains and bad guys, and so I think that was kind of the reason Stevel didn't work. But why evil aliens just kind of allows people to connect because they're like, man, if I was an alien
Okay.
from another planet with all
I
of these
would
different
rule
planets,
this planet.
Oh, I totally would.
I would
But
do that. And
I
Okay,
would
follow-up
laser
question.
everybody.
Why did everyone get mad? Because you're talking about a character you can disconnect from. Do you feel like you can connect with Doc Ock?
On a certain level, maybe, yeah. I too feel I am a genius that has been underappreciated.
I mean, yes and no. You can connect to the human side, but I definitely couldn't connect to the whole creation of AI-controlled arms that are connected to my
if you had the ability
spine.
to make AI-controlled arms that would connect your spine, it could just carry you across town.
But that's the disconnect.
That'd be awesome.
But like that's
Go
what I'm
right
saying.
over
That's
traffic.
the
That's like
disconnect.
Andy's like, Ben, I'll be there in a minute.
Clunk, clunk, clunk. Where can I put my octo arms? I dented your door on the way in, by the way.
How many do
reason
you
I-
have? 4. Well, that doesn't make any sense. No, but I got 4 normal ones. Octo now it makes
Get it?
sense.
2 arms and 2 legs. And 4 octopus arms.
Okay, but keep going, keep going.
The reason I ask is everyone freaked out when Doc Ock defeated Spider-Man, but became Peter Parker.
Right.
Took over his
Superior
mind.
Spider-Man.
Right.
Right.
Everyone freaked out about that. They didn't like that. Most of us liked it.
That was a
Powers.
great
I
series.
say by the end of the series, everyone liked it.
I think
but
it's the superpowers. Because when you think about it, Steve Rogers, Captain America, just a really strong dude. Like when it
mean, it's
really
just
comes
like-
down to it, he doesn't have like the ability to stick to walls and climb or like shoot webs and like
Wait.
stuff like that. He's just a really buff dude.
Back it up. So
I mean,
wait,
Super
is it-
Soldier Serum, but anyway.
you're saying what is the correlation here? You're saying people didn't like that because
They
of
didn't
what?
like that. I'm asking why. Like, so you basically had an evil Spider-Man with
Right.
a legit reason.
Well, he
behind
wasn't
it.
evil though.
He was-
He was trying to
Yeah.
be good, just in his own Doc Ock way.
He was a
Like,
dick.
you know, these guys can't keep robbing banks if I break all their bones. And technically, wasn't wrong.
And he didn't kill him, so he didn't cross the
And then he
line.
did kill that one guy. Shot him in the
We
head.
don't talk about that guy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, people are so against the villain becoming a good guy. So I guess correlating it different from.
But that's not a villain becoming a good guy. That's a
was
villain becoming
Like
a good
taking
guy.
over his mind and body.
If it was Doc Ock being like, "All right, well, I'm Professor Ock now," like that's him being like, "I'm a
There's
good
a difference
guy."
between Doc and Professor.
I don't
that makes
know.
you
Like,
good or evil.
I don't know.
well, one's a PhD,
Right,
one's
right,
the
yeah,
master's.
yeah, sure, yeah.
One's an educator.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
The other one's a researcher. I don't know.
sure.
You can decipher that yourself.
One can tell you what your cold is.
But then once again, that's not like they didn't have an alternate universe where Doc Ock took over everything. That was like in canon, a villain took over Peter Parker's brain and body. That's why people didn't like it.
Okay.
It wasn't like there was an alternate universe with an all-powerful
But there
Dr.
was
Octopus.
in Spider-Verse when that. No, he came from the past. That was really weird.
Yeah. No,
We don't talk
technically, it
about
was
that
in
one.
universe Doc Ock.
It was
And
so
then they're
weird.
like, "And mind wipe, you're gonna forget everything." And he's like, "Where was I?"
Didn't they do that to him like in one of our many tangents? Didn't they do that to him like 3 or 4 times? Like everyone likes Superior Spider-Man, so he kept
Yes.
getting pulled into things, and they'd always be like, "And you forget."
He went to 2099 for a little while. He went to the Spider-Verse thing for a little while. It was a whole thing.
I think he went to the second Spider-Verse as well.
And they'd always wipe his mind, like, and he forgot. It's like what they do with the symbiote Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, we're not going to talk about Symbiote Spider-Man that I thought was its own thing, but then somehow became a
not.
part of
Yeah,
everything.
it's weird.
And
Yeah.
we just ignore
Wait,
that.
what?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
So
It's its own thing.
So yeah, that's
It's
what
not a
I'm
part of
saying.
nothing.
It's
But
not
it's still
really
King
the
and Black.
same as an evil Superman type of story. It's,
Okay.
Yeah. And once again, it's in canon. If DC suddenly came out and was like, "All right, guys, in canon, in universe, Superman has decided to take over the world. Just going straight evil. He's lobotomized Shazam, because why not?
And Batman.
He left Lois and is now banging Wonder Woman, who's cool with it too. And Batman's gonna, like, if this is in universe, people would
I like
be
how that's one of the
up
sticking
and
points
on.
of
Yeah,
your
yeah,
evil.
Yeah, you bang Wonder Woman when you go evil. Well, he's like leaving his wife of like however many decades is my point.
I just like you're like he lobotomized Shazam
And then
bang one
Wonder
woman. Evil.
Same day.
Super evil. So if they suddenly were like, this is in canon, this is happening, you know, up in arms everybody would be.
I'm surprised. For the record, if Superman were to ever to actually go evil, I think the first thing he would do would be to lobotomize Batman. He'd be like, "You're the only one who can figure it out."
He wouldn't lobotomize. He would rip him limb from limb,
throw him
but
into
keep him
sun.
alive.
You got to take him out quick before he has time to prep is the thing.
Superman would be like, not happening. Woo!
He's just got to show up to the cave. Hey, Bruce, what's going on in the sun?
I would lobotomize, but knowing you'd find a way around that and restructure your brain.
It's like,
He actually moved his brain stem down to his left arm.
I twisted it ever so slightly.
So now all I
Put
can
a lead plate so that you couldn't see.
So now
it.
all I can say is yogurt, but I can still think yogurt.
What?
And I can say this one paragraph explaining
Explaining
that how I still function yogurt.
But yeah, so that way, if it was in canon universe, it would have been like Injustice would have done terrible.
Okay.
I disagree, actually. I think one of the big things about it that makes that more okay is that it truly is Superman went evil. Or,
Right.
sorry, went dark. Not got taken control of or mind controlled. Like, I think if in continuity Lois got killed and it was Superman that did it and he went to the dark side, essentially, I think it would be a little bit taken easier than if we went into kind of what you were saying with Doc Ock of like Lex Luthor takes control of Superman's body, is in Superman's body, And
it's
it's
just
like-
the same story.
I know.
Okay.
DC.
It's Superior Superman, and it's
I would even see them call
that's
it.
exactly what they
probably,
would do,
yeah.
or Superior Man or something.
Oh no, they'd call
There
it
you go.
Imperious.
Superior Man.
Imperious Superman, or was it? What did they do with the when he?
Yeah, it was
Imperious
Imperious
Lex.
Lex.
yeah,
So the Imperious Superman.
Superman.
But my point being is, I feel like people like it more when it's genuinely a reason for that person to
go evil over, like,
as
somebody
opposed
taking
to
over, yeah.
mind control. The Tesseract created an evil doppelganger.
Right.
Like brainwash, stuff like that. I feel like that's one of those ones that you can't turn the good guys bad because then you just wait for the. All right,
They're gonna
when's
go
the
back.
good one
Yeah,
gonna
they're gonna
break
come
free?
back.
Well, that's my argument with
and-
most problems with comic books. No matter what you try and do, we always go back to the way things were. In our chat, would also like to bring up, they already know, even if you threw him into the sun, how Batman would come back, because it happened before. He has a cloning machine that
That is
implants
true.
all the memories of
No,
Batman into
we
a new
don't-
body.
We don't think about that anymore. We don't talk about it. It's sitting in a dusty corner of the Batcave.
If Superman were to take over, he's got a Batcave in every corner of the world.
a
Superman couldn't
second.
win.
This means I gotta
Hold
find
up.
all those caves with all those cloning machines.
Hold up. Is that where Jonathan Hickman came up with the Krakoa Cerebro copies everyone's mind and then they can resurrect them
possible.
if they die? He was like,
Because they introduced
you know,
that like
Batman
5-6
did
years
that.
ago as in Batman.
He's like, they forgot about him, Batman.
Another question: why
take
doesn't he just
that.
make a new Alfred? Anyway, that's off
He
topic.
didn't take Alfred's memories
That's
into
what
the
it is.
machine.
That's right. Yeah.
He was too.
It only works for him.
Every 27 years. That was what it was. Every 20.
it?
Yeah, he figures out that 27 years
Is how long Batman.
is like max Batman time.
And then he
makes
kills
a new
himself
one.
And
No, he just makes a new one, then
Okay,
trains
hold up,
that one.
Hold up. I'm gonna say that would be kind of a crazy
has the-
dark
He's
story.
like, good luck.
He has
Jesus.
He has the ability to implant all of his Batman training into
the new one. So
a new
then
body.
he
His
shows
bat
up and
memories,
helps.
okay.
They never really explain what happens to the older Batman. Because he's like, I'll help you figure it out, or like, I'll help you with the transition. But they don't explain if he goes away after that.
You know what,
Or he's like, just
let's
call
go-
me Alfred from now on.
Let's just go to a side story where it's all the retired Batmen in this.
They
little
got like their
house.
own island.
Why,
or
why
something.
hasn't he used it on all the Robins? Jason, I'm going to make you think just
Hey,
like me.
listen, there's
Stick.
always
Damian,
another
they
Robin.
got all of my training. Stick.
Nah, there's always another Robin. There's always more
He's like, I'm
orphans.
somehow weaker now. That's totally what Damien would do if he was like, no, I was stronger
Batgirl,
without
we're not
you,
even
Dad.
family. You're not even a Robin. Have my training.
It's true.
You get bat training. You get bat training.
That's the equivalent of like
You-
the Iron Man. Like, I've made iron suits
signal.
for everyone because it makes sense.
No.
Instead, he's got
Hulk will
50.
keep breaking them.
There's a Hulk Buster. He wrote in it in the movie.
Yeah, got
Banner.
Hulk busted.
Wrote in it in the movie. Anyway, this is
Spider-Man
completely
has
off
one
topic.
with his own kill mode.
That's true.
Yeah,
Instant kill.
Instant.
What were we talking about?
I forgot.
And
Evil
that's
Super-
why Hydra Camp was a failure. Thank you guys for watching today's episode of Comics Experiment, the show right here where I chat with Andy and Dan and myself, and we go over some philosophy. We talk about some ideas behind comics. We talk about the circular nature. It's an experiment if the show will ever work. If you want to support this show, go to twitch.tv/Comicstorian. Twitch.tv/Comicstorian every Thursday at about 3 p.m. Eastern and subscribe. Or you can join us on Patreon or go to our sponsors.
Honey, go to joinhoney.com/experiment. Get honey for free. Or G Fuel, use code COMICS at checkout. Save 10% off your order.
Yeah.
And that has been our topic of why Batman is the superior superhero to every superhero in existence. We'll see you
That's
next
true.
week right here.
It's true, actually.